Elephants are one of Africa's most iconic species. But in the last century, their population numbers have dropped sharply due to poaching. Yet there is hope for these grey giants. Two conservation tales are unfolding in the forests of Tembe and the thickets of Addo Elephant Park. These places offer an intimate look into the complex and compelling lives of the world's largest land animal. From a continent with many tales to tell, this is an elephant story. On the east coast of South Africa, not far from the Indian Ocean, lies a lush land of subtropical forests. Here, giants move like ghosts between the trees. Glimpses of their hulking frames come and go. Until they emerge from the forest, suddenly close enough to count the wrinkles on their skin. These are some of the biggest elephants in Africa. They live in Tembe Elephant Park, a place of towering trees and large stretches of woodland and savanna, providing shade, security, and most importantly, food. This group is one of the main breeding herds in the park. It's made up of 15 females and their young. Like all elephants, they have colossal appetites, with individuals eating between 4 and 6% of their body weight daily. That's well over 2 tons of food consumed by this herd every day. Collecting this much food takes time, and the herd spends 16 hours a day feeding. Luckily, Tembe Elephant Park has ample vegetation for the hungry herbivores. It also provides other essential amenities for the elephants living here. This is the pachyderm version of a spa treatment. A mud bath fit for a king. No other land animal on the planet can match an adult male elephant in size. Standing 4 meters tall and weighing over 5 tons, this mighty bull is well on his way to being one of the biggest elephants in the park. His name is Zakade, which means he who takes a long time to arrive, in the African language of Venda. He's 25 years old and at the beginning of mature adulthood. His ivory tusks, already several feet long, will continue to grow until he reaches 60. One day they may even earn him the illustrious title of a tusker, which is the name given to bull elephants with exceptionally large ivory. But his tusks are a curse as well as a blessing, for they mean there is a price on his head. In Africa, more than 100 elephants are killed every day for their ivory, meat, and body parts. Bulls with big tusks are the main target for poachers. Today, there are fewer than 40 tuskers left in the whole of Africa. Many of them are found here in Tembe Elephant Park. Located in the far east corner of South Africa, Tembe was created as a haven for elephants affected by the violence of the Mozambique Civil War during the 1970s. During the war, the animals came under attack. Poachers killed them for their ivory, which they then sold to fuel the fighting. Those that were able to escape did so by taking refuge in these dense forests. The area was later protected and now forms part of the 1,655 square kilometer elephant reserve. Those that did survive carried excellent genes. Tembe Elephant Park is now considered one of the best places in Africa to see a big tusker. There is another reserve with a different but equally important elephant conservation story in South Africa. Addo Elephant Park is located in the coastal region of the Eastern Cape, 1,300 kilometers from Tembe. While Tembe's elephants are famous for their big tusks, Addo's elephant population is noted for quite the opposite. Many of the elephants in Addo have no tusks at all. The reason for this goes back to the beginnings of Addo's history. Hundreds of years ago, before Europeans arrived in Africa, the area that is now Addo was wilderness, where elephants roamed free in large numbers. In the 1900s, colonial farmers arrived and put down roots. Their crops were soon raided by the resident elephants, and conflict between man and beast escalated quickly. The farmers called for the government to exterminate the elephants, which they considered pests. A man named Major Territorial was hired for this gruesome task. he shot and killed 92 elephants in under a year. Thankfully, the slaughter was called off before he could finish the job. By the mid-1900s, there were just 12 African elephants left in the Eastern Cape region. In 1931, forward-thinking conservationists set aside 2,023 hectares as a sanctuary for the last remaining elephants. This was the inception of Addo Elephant Park. Now, 85 years later, the population has boomed to over 600 elephants in what's now the third largest national park in South Africa, covering 180,000 hectares. The elephants of Addo are marked by their history. Today, only 5% of Addo's female elephants have tusks, and the males have much smaller tusks than those in places like Tembe. That's because the 12 elephants that survived Major Pretorius's cull had small tusks, or no tusks at all. All the elephants that live here today are thus descendants of the first 12. It's a stark reminder of how close they came to being completely wiped out. Besides the issue of smaller or non-existent tusks, the elephants of Addo are perfectly healthy, and they continue to breed and grow in number. It's a success story born out of adversity that now points towards a viable new model for elephant conservation in Africa. To understand why the conservation of Africa's iconic elephants is so important, we need to look back to an Africa before modern man. Elephants have existed in Africa for 5 million years. They are wide-ranging and highly adaptable, found across a variety of habitats. From the lush wetlands of the Okavango Delta to the dry and barren wastelands of the Namib Desert, and many places in between. They've been present on the African savannas throughout mankind's evolution. Drawings of elephants are even found in ancient rock art, dating as far back as 30,000 years. These depictions often show them being hunted by early man. Indeed, we have a long and blood-stained history with elephants. Over time, arrows became bullets, and the lust for ivory skyrocketed. Developing cities and farmlands further reduced elephant migration routes and ranges. few hundred years, the elephant population declined drastically. From an estimated 27 million in the beginning of the 19th century, there were just 410,000 wild elephants left in Africa in 2012. It's a grim picture. But it does not tell the whole story. We are now at a turning point in elephant conservation in South Africa. On the thicket-covered hills of Addo Elephant Park, this family of elephants is living proof that in some places, populations are booming. In Addo, elephant numbers are actually doubling every 13 years. Over the decades, researchers here have come to know all the elephants in Addo. They are able to identify individuals by the shape of their tusks and the scars and holes in their ears. This is one of 6 major families in Addo. Like all the herds, it's made up of related females and led by a matriarch. She is the oldest and wisest of the herd. It's her job to keep them safe. She must make difficult decisions on a daily basis. Where to go in search of food and water, and when to flee from danger. To do this, she draws on her years of experience and knowledge she learned from her mother. The bulls are more independent, preferring a mostly solitary existence. When they do meet other bulls, it's often to test one another through competitions of strength. In this way, the bulls in an area like Addo get to know each other, learning through experience where they sit in the hierarchy of size and power. But regardless of age, size or sex, all the elephants of Addo share the same voracious appetites. Elephants make a massive impact on their environment in their search for food. The combination of their mass, intelligence and power makes them destructive feeders. An adult elephant can tear down a large tree with ease, using its immense strength and bulk to crack and splinter wood. In Addo, the impact of their feeding habits is clearly visible. In places, whole parts of the succulent thickets that should cover the landscape are gone. This loss is a concern. Many plant species in Addo are found nowhere else in the world. It's the double-edged sword of elephant conservation in South Africa. Maintaining viable populations of elephants threatens the safety of endemic plant species. Luckily, there is an abundant and fast-growing plant in Addo that the elephants love. The speckboom bush is a common succulent species with juicy green leaves that are high in moisture and mineral content. It's such an elephant favorite that the Afrikaans name for the plant is olifantskos, elephant's food. Speckboom is an indigenous icon of Addo, growing naturally in vast swathes throughout the park. It also has other benefits besides being elephant fodder. Speckboom is incredibly good at reducing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, with recent studies suggesting that it's 100 times more effective in carbon capture than a pine tree of the same size. Another elephant favorite in Addo is actually an alien species. This breeding herd has found a grove of prickly pears. The spiky cactus originates in the Americas, but grows so well in the South African climate that it is now considered an invasive plant. This is no problem for the elephants, and the prickly pear's sharp spines offer little resistance to their grinding molars. As the elephants eat, they smash whole trees of the invasive plant. The result is cactus carnage. These elephants are unwittingly acting as alien species eradication officers. Elephant conservation may have its challenges, but it also has unexpected benefits. Elephants are considered an umbrella species because by protecting them, we also protect large areas of wilderness and all the creatures that live there. Big and small. The flightless dung beetle was once widespread in South Africa. Today it lives in isolated populations, of which Addo's is the largest. This little character is intimately linked to the elephant and does a great deal of good for the environment with a bit of strength and a lot of tenacity. The beetle is a tireless recycler of nutrients back into the ecosystem. But when it comes time to breed, it's the female that does the heavy lifting. She makes a ball of dung that will be the home to her fertilized egg. Building the brood ball is the easy part. Finding a suitable place to bury it is more of a challenge. The ball is hundreds of times heavier than the beetle. Even moving a few centimeters can be incredibly difficult. Yet she soldiers on. She's got a long way to go. The ground is filled with obstacles. Heaving the ball takes gargantuan strength. Yet the dung beetle can perform this incredible feat, as it is the strongest insect in the world. Finally, she clears the hurdle and can roll her ball off to bury it. The dung beetle is an attentive mother by insect standards, but her commitment is nothing compared to that of an elephant mother's. Family is the core of elephant life. This herd in Addo is led by one of the oldest elephants in the park. At 60 years old, the matriarch is ancient. She's been a successful mother. The herd is made up of her many adult daughters and grandchildren. While her daughters and granddaughters will stay with her for their entire lives, her sons have left for a life outside of the herd. The young bull calves still with her will one day follow suit. It's the way of elephant life. These young bulls in Tembe have all recently left their families. They push and shove one another, acting much like an unruly gang of teenage boys. Male elephants reach sexual maturity at about 12 years old, at which time they separate from their families. Sticking together in a bachelor herd offers company in their early years of independence. They, like all elephants, communicate much through touch. Using their trunks, they subtly feel each other's strength or show affection. Off to the side of the watering hole, two males stand together. Their tenderness towards each other tells of a special bond. Perhaps they were from the same herd, or are even brothers. Bachelor herds are common among elephant populations across Africa. They are an indication that there are plenty of healthy young males in the area. In times before human settlements, the bulls would have roamed hundreds of kilometers to stake out new territories of their own. But for the bulls of Addo and Tembe, space is limited. And sometimes this can prove deadly. There are over 250 bull elephants in Addo. Each of them has a ranking in the dominance hierarchy, decided through tests of strength and aggression. Because they don't have the option of dispersing naturally, competition between bulls for mating rights is more intense. In Addo, the primary cause of mortality in adult males is fighting to the death. Luckily, this is just a skirmish. Because of the potentially deadly nature of meeting an adversary, the older bulls of Addo often avoid each other, choosing to feed alone and visit the waterholes at different times of day. There are a few bulls in Addo that rule the top ranks due to their size and power. This is one of them. His name is John Kruger. He was named by researchers after being brought to Addo from Kruger National Park to broaden the gene pool of Addo's elephant population. Today he's traveling with one of Addo's breeding herds. There's a reason the normally solitary bull is seeking company. He's here because one of the females is in estrus, which means she will soon be at her most fertile. If she accepts him, he will stay with her until she is ready to mate, fulfilling his destiny and bringing diversity to Addo's elephant gene pool. Genetic diversity is one of the greatest challenges for elephant populations confined to reserve areas. The successful relocation and mating of John Kruger is a major victory in the story of modern elephant conservation. In Tembe, the big bull known as Zakade is also looking to pass on his genes. But he's got a different strategy for finding a mate. He'll wait at the waterhole and let them come to him. He's joined by a younger bull, but Zakade is too distracted to care. His desire to mate is strong right now. He's in an annual condition known as musth. Musth is a heightening of the testosterone levels of a bull, which increases the drive to breed. It also makes them more aggressive. This in turn makes them more dangerous and temporarily gives them a higher position in the dominance hierarchy. The telltale signs of musth include a streak of fluid on the side of the head and the constant dribbling of urine down the hind legs. He's also giving off a pungent, musky odor. But his elephant cologne attracts no attention from the breeding herd, who have just arrived and are more interested in drinking than his amorous odor. Zakade moves around the waterhole, testing the air for the subtle smell of pheromones. He's smelling to see if any of the cows are ready to mate. Scent is very important to elephant communication. Their trunk is actually a long prehensile nose and is extremely sensitive. Zakade's out of luck today. There are no females in estrus. He settles for a drink instead. The most recently born calf in Tembe is also at the Waterhole. Born less than 6 months ago, he weighs only 100 kilograms now, but may one day grow into a 6-ton giant. Together, he and Zakade represent the full cycle of life for these majestic mammals. Slowly, the cows and their young start to move off, while the big bull chooses a direction of his own. Another male arrives after the last of the herd have left. At 17 years old, his solitary adult life has just begun. Soon he'll hit a growth spurt that will last until he's 25. In these years, he'll get much bigger and stronger. His tusks will also continue to grow. In 10 years, he'll be ready to challenge bulls like Zakade for one of the top spots in Tembe. While Tembe's woodlands provide extensive cover from the sun, in Addo the elephants have few places to hide from the heat. It drives all the families towards the Waterhole and offers a chance to see the park's conservation success in full force. Today it seems as if all of the herds are arriving at the water at the same time. One after another, the elephant families pour in. Some of the youngsters are so excited, they do the last stretch at a run. Elephants can drink up to 200 liters of water a day, and this waterhole is the only one in the area big enough to accommodate all these massive thirsts. The visit to the Waterhole is not only important for drinking and catching up with old friends, it also allows for another daily ritual: a good splattering. The elephants cover themselves liberally in water and mud. This helps protect their surprisingly sensitive skin from the harsh sun, as well as trapping ticks and parasites when the mud dries. The adults are able to aim their mudslinging with remarkable accuracy, landing each trunkful on a different part of the body. Youngsters, however, haven't quite mastered the 150,000 odd muscles in their trunks. That will come in time. From the distance, a massive figure emerges. It's Addo's most dominant bull. His name is Terry, and he's 34 years old, at the zenith of his physical prime. He was named by the resident elephant researchers in Addo, who can easily identify him by the large hole in his ear, which is likely a war wound from fighting with another bull. Maybe it was even this battle that secured him the top spot on Addo's dominance rank. Whatever the case, he is now considered the most powerful bull of all, and is treated with respect. Terry has come for more than a drink and a shower today. Once he's freshened up, he moves over to a young cow. Even though she's fully grown, he towers over her. He can smell that she's fertile right now, and he's eager to get to know her better. There are other bulls hanging around, and he doesn't want her to wander off. He herds her gently with his tusks. Now he's made his intentions clear. And she reciprocates the interest with a playful nudge. With her head between his huge ivories, they move slowly off. This is the last phase of their courtship ritual. A bull elephant's penis is normally enclosed in a sheath, then released for urination and mating. Because of its substantial proportions, it is often referred to in Africa as an elephant's fifth leg. Elephant mating is an astounding sight, not often captured on camera. It's the consummation of the complex circle of life for the world's largest land mammals. The cow now carries the seed of the biggest bull in the territory, and her future offspring is ensured the best possible start to life. Slowly, the families begin to disperse. With thirsts quenched and desires sated, the elephants can go back to the rolling green hills. They will meet again, one day soon. By studying the African elephant, we are afforded a compelling look into the life of another of Earth's most intelligent mammals. As a species, they still hold many secrets, and scientists are just scratching the surface of understanding how their communication and social lives work. They are the most powerful land mammals on the planet. Yet they need our help. Poaching and habitat loss have put their future in jeopardy. But parks like Addo and Tembe are examples of how we can turn the tide. The story of the African elephant is one of great beauty and sadness. It's also a story of hope, where the final chapters have yet to be written. How it ends is up to us. Surviving in the African savannah requires wit and guile, especially for two of its hunters, wild dogs and dwarf mongooses. These two enigmatic species live in packs and rely on well-coordinated teamwork to succeed. From looking after youngsters to finding food and warding off enemies. Both species rely on their tight-knit families to overcome the challenges of everyday life. These are two of Africa's killer packs. Sunrise over the South African bushveld. A pack of African wild dogs is beginning to stir. There's a busy day ahead. With 9 mouths to feed, these consummate killers hunt twice a day. A family of dwarf mongooses is also greeting the early morning sunshine. They have new arrivals, and keeping everyone fed, safe and happy is a full-time occupation. Although it's not going to be easy. It's December, supposedly the wet season. But a punishing drought is ravishing the eastern parts of South Africa. Clouds promise rain, but nothing has fallen for months. The ground is grazed bare. Plants and animals are falling victim to the trying conditions. Macabre statues litter the ground. Rivers have run dry. Hardy succulents are the only green. To prevent water loss, few trees still carry a canopy worth consuming. Only the circling vultures seem content. The dogs are coping better than most in the drought. Many of their antelope prey are weak from hunger. The pups are 6 months old and only recently joined the hunting pack. The dominant male is also awake. He's fitted with a radio collar so that conservationists can monitor the pack. They've named him Merlot. He has a lot on his shoulders. Poachers killed his female partner almost a month ago. Since then, Merlot's been raising his family with only one other adult male for help. This is very unusual. If his family is to survive, Merlot must lead his pack in the hunt and also find another female partner. Typically, a predominantly monogamous dominant pair leads the wild dog pack together. And they are often the only ones in the family that breed. All other pack members assist in raising the youngsters. Merlot marks the ground, reinforcing his status. It's also an advertisement to any females that visit the area. Pinotage, the other adult male, nuzzles his pack leader in a display of subservience. The younger members of the pack are blissfully unaware of the challenges facing their father. Play fighting develops strength and also reinforces family bonds. These bonds help forge a cohesive hunting unit, which is key to the pack's success. Living in a group allows them to kill bigger prey, and also helps them defend their kills against hyenas and lions that would steal from the successful pack. Wild dogs are cursorial, meaning they hunt on the leg, covering vast distances, tracking and hunting prey. This is in contrast to many of Africa's big cats, such as lions and leopards, which tend to stalk their prey for short distances, relying on stealth and quick bursts of speed for success. Wild dogs will pursue prey for miles, literally running it to exhaustion. This means they need large home ranges, which is a problem on a continent with such a rapidly expanding human population. African wild dog numbers have plummeted because of habitat destruction over the last 100 years. And with fewer than 5,000 dogs remaining in the wild, conservationists make every effort to ensure families such as this one thrive. Dwarf mongooses also rely on their tight-knit packs to survive. They're the smallest mongoose species, roughly 30 centimeters from their nose to the tip of their tail, and weigh less than 250 grams. To survive, they must work closely together. Dwarf mongooses share the workload out amongst family members. It's one of the best examples of the division of labor in the animal kingdom. The sentinels are up first, checking for would-be predators from the top of the mound. Even though they're voracious predators in their own right, when you're this small, you have to be vigilant to avoid becoming a target yourself. So there's always someone on the lookout when the pack is out and about. The sentinel signals the all clear and joins the rest of the family below. A caregiver ferries the youngsters out of the home, an old termite mound. This isn't their mother. The dominant female suppresses all other females, and she's the only one who breeds. Subordinates assist her and often take on babysitting roles, while the rest of the pack is foraging. Life in the family is collaborative, and returning hunters share food with the babies and babysitters back home. Dwarf mongooses breed in the wet season, so that there's plenty of insect prey for the growing youngsters. But the unseasonal drought has caught this family unawares. This year, they will have to work even harder if they are to raise a successful brood. Merlot rallies his troops. There's a long way to go. Wild dogs traverse many kilometers a day while hunting, with their economical loping gait. Their home ranges often extend 1,500 square kilometers or more. Neighboring territories overlap slightly, but rival packs rarely meet. To overcome their daily challenges, the family has to work together as a unit. For them, life in the pack is everything, and it's strictly organized so that the workload is shared between family members. Much like mongooses, caregivers remain in a den with the pups after they're first born, while the pack hunts. Returning pack members will regurgitate food for those left behind. This need to carry enough food back to the den is one driving force in the evolution of these larger collaborative packs. Back at the termite mound, the mongooses are also on the move. The pack rotates through 5 or 6 dens in their territory over the course of a month or so. They seldom stay longer than a few days in any one site. Their first task today is moving the babies to a suitable nursery area. The dominant male and female lead the way. This rocky outcrop near their home is one of their favorites. There's plenty of shelter for both the babysitters and the pups. The babysitters begin ferrying the pups to their rocky creche. They'll remain here until the family returns. An adult cautiously sniffs the rocks. There are signs of intruders. Because of the drought, a neighboring family has been moving in on their turf. Their territory is about 1 kilometre square. The babysitter marks the rocks, reaffirming this pack's claim to the site. Even with the hiding places among the boulders, the adults are hyper-alert to potential predators. Such as African wildcats, and a variety of raptors. And the mongooses are not the only ones who are vulnerable. During droughts, antelope are often at risk because they're weakened by limited food and their need to congregate around scarce waterholes. Inyala are prime targets for wild dogs in this part of South Africa, comprising 90% of the pack's kills. With limited moisture available in their forage, the animals rely on standing water such as this. Inyala are shy animals, preferring the thickets and dense savanna woodlands around water. Males are almost 30% larger than females, standing a little over a metre at the shoulder. And they carry horns, which they use to fight for dominance. Like the mongooses, many of the mothers have timed their births to coincide with the expected rains. The bush is full of youngsters, but without enough moisture, herds are going hungry. Plains zebra are picking through the dry grass, while impala nibble on a range of fodder. The food is low quality, and everyone's scratching to make ends meet. Impala have it better than most because they can shift their food from grass to leaves and shoots, depending on what's available. Moving away from the waterhole, the Inyala need to remain alert to predators. Lions and leopards roam these woods, and most importantly, so do the wild dogs. Half of the 14-strong family of mongooses is also on the hunt. But their prey is more bite-sized. Insects, snails, scorpions, earthworms and birds' eggs are on the menu. They'll even gang up on large venomous snakes, relying on their speed and agility to circumvent the danger. But food is scarce in the drought, so the mongooses are chasing anything that moves. A gaudy rock agama is advertising for mates. But his bright mating colors attract some unwanted attention. You have to be faster than that, however, to catch a lizard in the open. The mongoose has to settle for a juicy centipede instead. As the hunters root about, digging and scratching for food, they're vulnerable, as they can't keep a watch for predators. To overcome this, individuals take turns standing guard. These sentinels keep up a constant chatter, reassuring those below. This early warning system is very specific, and sentinels use different calls for different threats. He's seen something. A pair of young, tawny eagles. The alarm call signals danger above. And everyone hurriedly scurries to the rocks for shelter. While the mongoose family finds what it needs within the vicinity of its home, Merlot's pack heads further afield in search of prey. The dogs occasionally target young giraffes if they're feeling bold. But these adults are far too large to be worried. True to character, the pack passes brazenly out in the open. They're not concerned with being seen, unlike typical ambush predators such as lions. They operate mainly during the day, relying on their mottled yellow and black coats for camouflage. The pack keeps moving on a marathon for a meal. The zebra also stand their ground as the pack passes. But the wildebeest take no chances. They needn't worry. Today, Merlot is leading his pack towards another target. He maintains a relentless pace. The youngsters can do little else but follow his lead. He knows exactly what he's looking for. A young Inyala, or lone impala. One of these will be easier prey for his relatively small and inexperienced pack. Ordinarily, the older and larger the pack, the easier the hunt. But Merlot's family is coping fine for now. His pups may be young, but they have the instincts of true natural-born killers. This is what he's been looking for. Nyala, hiding in the thicket. They make a run for it, and the dogs give chase. But it's over quickly. The pack has struck the jackpot. They've caught a female Inyala and her calf in close succession. Wild dogs are one of the most successful hunters in the savannah. Once a prey item is targeted, the pack is successful roughly 80% of the time. The pups make short work of their kill. Each dog eats as much as it can, gorging itself on almost 5 kilograms of meat. They'll only eat fresh kills. And unlike many of their close relatives, such as jackals, they never scavenge. The pack keeps a lookout. They know there are lions and hyenas about, which will readily steal their kill. For now, the coast is clear. It's been a good day for the pack leader. Stomachs bulging, the family heads for the shade, avoiding the midday heat. A grey go-away bird calls for a mate. It's been a slower morning back at the rocky nursery, and the midday heat is also affecting the mongooses. This babysitter's keeping cool by pancaking, lying stretched out in the shade. But it pays to be alert, and someone is always standing guard. Tummies full, the foraging mongooses head for home. And for the moment, a sense of calm descends. The only thing breaking the peace is the incessant screeching of cicadas. A fork-tailed drongo doesn't seem to be feeling the heat. But the Inyala and Impala retreat into the shade like everyone else. As the afternoon wears on, a slight change in the wind signals a change in everyone's fortunes. The clouds are building. With the heat of the day subsiding, the dwarf mongooses head out once more. The dominant pair is concerned with the neighbors' incursions, and they have some important work to do on the borders of their territory. The dominant stands on his front legs to mark as high as possible on the rocks with his anal glands. This helps pass on information about the size and therefore competitive ability of the marker. Everyone in the family marks. But males face competition from rival males from the neighboring families. So they invest more energy in scent marking than females, marking both 3 times more frequently and significantly higher to claim their spot. Ironically, the smaller the male, the higher they tend to mark, in what seems like a form of competitive deception. This marking helps prevent conflict between families. Satisfied with their afternoon's work, the mongooses head for the nursery. They return to the rocky outcrop to collect the babysitters and take the pups back to the mound. They dash across the open space, ever wary of the risk from predators. But in the rush, somebody's been left behind. He calls for help. It isn't long before he's missed back home. And a rescuer is dispatched to retrieve the little lost one. Safe at last. And there's time to enjoy the afternoon from the safety of the mound. The call of a Burchell's cuckoo, known locally as the rain bird, can mean only one thing. There's a sense of expectation at the mound. And within Merlot's pack. Soon enough, following months of purgatory, the rains come. Warm, moist air drifting in from the Indian Ocean penetrates the interior, delivering its life-giving load. A pair of mating centrobolus millipedes makes the most of the rejuvenated environment. Rivers spring to life, quenching the bushveld. The water is back. And Merlot's pack can't seem to contain their excitement. The trees and bushes sprout new leaves. The young mongooses look out in wonder at their bright new world. Their first rainstorm leaves them strangely exhilarated. The world is full of new sounds and smells. Things are looking up. Their favored prey of invertebrates will bounce back. The dogs are on the move once more. They detect a new presence on the breeze. The principal challenge facing Merlot's young pack now is finding another female to replace its dead alpha. Dominant fathers almost never mate with siblings and relatives. This helps avoid complications from inbreeding. The pack is intoxicated with the new scent in the neighborhood. They're in luck. Conservationists have introduced a new female to the area. She's confined in a temporary boma, giving her time to acclimatize and to give the pack time to accept her. The youngsters whine in greeting. Merlot seems interested, and things are looking good. If all continues to go well, the managers will open the gates in a few weeks' time. And she will join the pack, and they will run free together. With the serious drought broken, conditions are getting better for everyone on the South African savannas. Life is returning to the bush. And things are looking up for Merlot's young pack. With a new alpha female, the pack's got a successful future ahead of it. The good times have also returned for the dwarf mongooses. Their prey is rebounding after the rain. And there will be plenty of food for their growing brood. For now, life in the killer packs of the savannah is returning to normal.